Hello and welcome to In the Library
with Marsha.
and Adrian.
And today we have our special guest.
Travis Raymond.
Yay! Thank you, Travis.
Thank you.
Adrian, I love your professional radio voice. It threw me a little bit. So, Travis, I know what your job is, but maybe you can tell us a little bit about what is your job?
Okay, I am a page at the Dundee Branch. Been there for almost 19 years now.
Yeah, we were just doing that math.
Yeah.
So a page, that's a library term. So anyone who's listening that doesn't know what a page does, what is your basic job function?
Basically, when you return materials, I put them away in the order of the categories, and we're nonfiction and fiction, juveniles, and the kids' books. So
yeah,
everybody can find what they're looking for, hopefully.
Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure. And yeah, and always as we joke about other duties as assigned, you don't just put books away. You do lots of things.
I try to help out, the other coworkers need assistance or something, or
for
even
sure.
researching for a book or something, or
oh yeah, you're always helping patrons, or you've done programs, but you've helped with programs.
I did one program.
Yeah.
Yes, I did. Yeah, it wasn't very successful, but
well,
I did one. I tried at least.
Sometimes they're not. We just keep trying and see what people want to
Exactly.
do. So,
Yep.
and we worked together for a lot of years and had a lot of fun in Dundee.
Yep.
And yeah, I already warned him, Adrian, that you'll have some really good questions for him. So I don't know if you're ready to start or what do you got?
I'm prepared. I hope.
In your estimation, is soul searching the same as ghost hunting?
Ooh, that's a good one. Probably not, actually. I would think searching for soul would be like a personal thing. Whereas ghost hunting, you would be looking for spirits from that hasn't passed on.
Yeah, I agree. And that's a deep question. Where'd that deep question come from? I love it. But that's a good answer. I was thinking that would be my answer too. Sometimes they're deep.
Hitting the hard-hitting questions already.
I know. He's loosening you up. You're already ready to go. Yeah. Go ahead. What you got?
If you decide to describe yourself as indecisive, is that a decisive action or an indecisive action?
I don't know. I've been called many things, so I don't know.
You are kind of indecisive sometimes about like where do we go to eat. Yeah, so this is perfect.
That is true. Yeah,
but he's also very congenial, and
I'll go with the flow most of the times. So we're like, yeah, sure, why not?
So I can talk him into anything. So yeah, so he really doesn't care. But if you want to go somewhere, you'll say it. You'll shout
I will, yeah.
Or
I'll ask before somebody wants to go with me or something like that too. Just to
you'll make decisions. You're not completely indecisive, but that's funny. Is that a decisive decision? I'm indecisive. Not right there. You're not.
Why is it that you can drink a drink but not food a food?
Man, any questions?
Yeah, you eat your food and drink a drink. Yeah.
I mean, you can drink smoothies that have food in them. So
yeah. Well, I guess we could say I'm gonna go food lunch right now.
Right. I mean,
we're changing the terminology.
Well, that's like, you chew, I guess you can chew a drink, but you will feel weird doing it.
Yeah. Yeah. You don't really eat your drink.
Yeah.
You food your food. All right. Well, so I know some of your hobbies and some things you do outside the library. Do you want to share any of those things right now?
Well, I'm a huge pro wrestling fan, so I tend to collect like pro wrestling titles and stuff like that and try to get some. Yeah, belts basically, but they call them titles though. But
okay,
if you look up a belt, you're gonna get like a men's belt or a women's belt. So don't do that.
That's how much I know. I've seen your cool belts. I didn't. Titles, not belts. I learned something new on the podcast today.
Yeah, it's just one of the hobbies that I admire, stuff like that. But I also play video games, collect, some old school games and that,
and run groups on your video games.
I run some online leagues and help other leagues too. So
and musical. Can we talk about your musical talents? Adrian's very musical too.
Yeah,
so I want to touch on that.
Guitar for I bought my first. This is a funny story because I bought my first guitar for like $20 off a freshman my senior year of high school. The guitar was pretty not the best shape, but it helped me learn the basic chords. And then that's where it all kind of fell in love.
You've been self-taught, really.
Yeah, I self-taught. I write my own songs, lyrics, everything. So
and you're an artist.
Yeah,
I'm an artist too.
I love doing abstract paint and stuff like that, but I also am pretty good at making custom logos and all that. I'm self-taught and
Yeah.
do that with Photoshop and everything. So yeah, I enjoy doing that. And
Does a little bit of everything, kind of in the artsy world. You're very artsy.
Yeah, I try to be. It runs in our family. So my dad was pretty artsy too, and
Mhm.
my one sister was very artsy as well. So
Yeah.
it runs in our family.
Adrian has a lot in common with you. Adrian is also musical and artistic and great with technology and loves video games. He's checked. Oh, and board games. He's a board gamer too. Like
Okay.
D&D, like the serious. Like
Oh
the
yeah,
serious,
yeah. I used to play that with a few people. I miss playing that.
I
We had
know.
a great group, and
They
actually I
kind of
played.
moved away and broke up a little
Yeah,
bit.
two were former coworkers
Yeah.
are in my group. So
Former coworkers and
Yeah.
best friends. That was our gang. That was our gang, man. It was a lot of fun.
it really
Deep Fried
was.
Thursdays.
Yeah.
We have a lot of good stories.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, Adrian, you have a lot of things in common with Travis. I was excited to get him on here today.
Wow.
Sounds like it. What is your favorite color to eat?
I would say probably brown for like a burger.
There you go. That's a good one.
I do
know.
love me some burgers. So
I was thinking that too, but then I thought maybe I would go with like orange because I feel like for me it'd be like breads and pastas and stuff. Like so
Yeah.
I guess I'm going with orange. What about you, Adrian? What's your favorite color?
I have a saying that I like to bust out at times like this, that brown is the color of delicious,
Oh,
because you have your chocolates, your coffees, your teas. If you've cooked your steak properly, it should be a shade of brown.
or burger. Yeah, exactly. So is brown your color too? That's Travis's. See, you guys are the same person. You're simpatico so much.
My long lost brother.
Yeah, here he is. All of a sudden, joined together again at the Monroe County Library
Yeah,
System.
finding friends together.
Aw, that's so funny. What about watching? I don't know that you do a lot of reading per se, but what about have you read anything lately or watched movies? You wanna
I
hear anything like
haven't
that?
in a while. I really want to go see the new Ghostbusters
Oh yeah,
movie.
the second like afterlife one or
Yeah,
whatever,
the Frozen or something it's
Mhm.
called like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's like those are just stuff from my childhood growing up, like the '80s vibe and stuff like that. I love '80s
Did you
movies.
so you saw Afterlife? You saw
Oh
one
yeah,
of them.
I've
Yeah,
seen
I
that
love
one.
that. Yeah.
Yeah. It's just all of them are good. It's just like
Speaking of that, there's a good book on that in the library. There's a good like picture. I think Adrian, you might have been the one that showed this to me, but it's a good like photo book of the movie from Ghostbusters Afterlife. So look that up. You can
I will.
request it in the
I
library
will.
catalog. Also, that just reminded me of something else you like when you said that's in your wheelhouse or from your 80s. Well, I was going to talk about Comic-Cons and stuff.
Oh,
Anyway,
yeah,
let's
yeah,
talk a little
yeah.
bit about some Comic-Cons, some
I-
people you've met and where you
uh,
went. He's got a lot of this.
I absolutely love going to Comic Cons. They're like my go-to if I can afford it.
Sure.
They can be pretty pricey. I'll pre-warn people that have never been there. They're very expensive. Bring money. I just recently met one of my childhood heroes, was Christopher Lloyd
Oh yeah.
from Back to the Future
Yeah.
and other famous movies that he's done. But yeah,
I love Christopher
Yeah.
Lloyd. And you went as Marty McFly.
I did. I dressed up as Marty McFly. I had the vest on. and
Michael
everything.
Jackson. You've had a lot of really good costumes. Over the
Yeah,
years. Marty McFly is one of my favorites.
Yeah,
He's a really good Marty.
And he, yeah, that was a cool picture that we got together, me and Christopher Lloyd. So,
Yeah,
and the DeLorean time machine. So that was like a check off my bucket list. So
sure.
yeah,
You've met a couple people from Back to the Future because didn't you also meet Leah Thompson
yeah,
too?
yeah.
I know. Yeah.
yeah.
So good.
She called me her dreamboat. So
See?
hey, yeah. So
You're like,
sorry,
bucket
Marty.
list.
I took over.
Aw. And you also came as Marty McFly to the Bedford Trunk or Treat.
Mhm.
You dressed up and came over there and we passed out candy at
Yeah,
Trunk or Treat
That was
one
fun.
year.
I
So
enjoyed doing that with you.
yeah, it was a lot of fun. So
And-
watch for that in October.
Yeah. Any chance that I get to spend with Marsha, it's always a good time. So.
Oh, well, thank
Yeah.
you. I'm paying him to say that.
I know. I could tell.
He says he knows so.
What would you like people to know about the library?
It's hard to say because there's so many good things about it. Like even all the patrons and coworkers will greet you kindly, and like you're part of the family and stuff like that, and help you as much as we can. We treat everybody with respect. We don't, judge, discriminate, anything, nothing like that. So everybody's treated as equals.
That's good. That's really a good answer. And I feel that same way. We're very welcoming. We'll try to get you what you need.
Mhm.
I think that's a great way of putting
Or
it.
if we don't have it at our branch, we'll send you to another branch, or we can request a book for you to come in. Need stuff like that. We try to be as helpful as we can for the materials that you need.
That's what I always say too. If we don't have it, we can get it, because if we don't have it in our system, we can borrow from out of county or we can write it up to purchase it. So many times I've heard patrons say, "Oh, I wanted that book, but you didn't have it." And I'm like, that's not true. Like, we can get it. So I
Right.
always try to convey that message. Like, just ask. You have to ask
Yeah.
people. So I do like that. But yeah, there's so many great things. And your coworkers, that's a great thing about working at the library. But
Yeah.
I do think for patrons, I think we have just recently started this TikTok platform, and we just recently recently, just yesterday, filmed a couple of TikToks.
Okay.
And we were kind of we did one to kind of be silly, like we're librarians and, all the different things
Yeah,
we do.
I was wondering,
Yeah,
I was
you'll
gonna
have to tune in, you'll have
con
to tune in.
Jennifer and
Yeah,
Chris and
yeah.
them to be like, come on, we should do this in our branch.
We did, yeah, we
That'd
just
be
did it
fun,
yesterday.
you
We
know,
just did one yesterday.
yeah.
Log on and check it out. If you're on
Yeah.
TikTok, check that out. And then also, because Jennifer did a cute one on TikTok too, just the other
Okay.
day. So this is very new platform. There's only a couple on there. And then the second one we did was about services. We started with did you know your library can? And we talked about, like printing and faxing and notarizing and
Okay.
downloadables, just all the stuff that tax forms, databases, just all the things that, you think of a library and you just think of a book, and it's just so
Right.
much more than
Yeah,
that now.
exactly.
Mhm.
We have programs, everything you can think of, we try to do.
Book
So,
clubs.
And
Yeah.
like, I know last time on your podcast, they were talking about God's work.
Yes.
So they do
Oh,
stuff like
yes.
that. So
Because
yeah,
Jennifer does that in
exactly.
Dundee as well. Because Janelle mentioned that last time in Bedford, but also that's going on in Dundee. So you
Yep.
can find that pretty locally too. And members of the staff participate in that as
Exactly.
well. You,
Yep.
Jennifer,
So-
we've
so we all
all
try to-
served
Try to be what the community is one too. So it's
Yeah.
very cool.
outreach. We're doing outreach all the time. Yep. So what about you? Is there anything else you wanted to share about anything?
No, I think I'm good.
Okay.
I don't know. I don't know what else to talk
No,
about.
I'm glad. No, you're doing
I
great.
think we
You're doing
covered
great.
everything
Yeah.
pretty much.
I want to talk a little bit about you. Adrian and I usually talk a little bit about some upcoming programs that are going on at the library too. You can always go to mymcls.com and you can get on the events calendar and see what programs there are. I don't really know. Adrian, do you know how to get on, how to look at those TikTok things? Like, do you know our handle for that?
I don't believe that has been officialized yet.
Oh, okay. Not officialized. I like that word.
Oops,
Officialized.
letting the cat out
No,
the bag
it's okay. You
early.
can see them. People
Oh,
are
okay.
people are seeing them here unless it's just staff members only that can see it. I don't know. So
I didn't think anything had officially gone up yet.
all
So-
right, well, watch for it then. Watch for it coming soon. Maybe even by this time this podcast is airing. Don't forget there's still a little bit of time left to come to some blues events. Tuesday, February 27th, that might be today, who knows. Zoom and her band Zoom will be here at the Ellis Library and Reference Center at 7:00. And then they do continue on at other branches a little bit into March. And then that will wrap up our Black History Month blues events for the year, this year. I'll hit a couple of Dundee programs since Travis is here today. We'll talk a little bit about some of the stuff going on. They have a DIY, do-it-yourself youth series, and that takes place from 4 to 5 o'clock downstairs in the basement. And so the next one will be like March 13th. They're doing birdhouse painting just in time for spring. In April, they'll be doing some neon painting. So again, check that out. Look for a flyer, go on the events calendar to see. They also at Dundee have an inspirational book club as well as a regular book club. We just talked about the book clubs. I think we have like 50 book clubs in the Monroe County Library System, including the one that meets here that I facilitate, which is the I Love a Mystery Book Club. That meets here. The next meeting here will be March 13th, where we talk about Mercy River by Glenn Herrick Hamilton. And then we have the 1,000 Hours Outside Book Club and also the Paging Through the Civil War Book Club for all you Civil War enthusiasts. And their next meeting is on March 21st. And they're going to be talking about the cause of all nations and international history of the Civil War. And of course, there's regular story times and kids crafts and all kinds of things going on all the time at every branch. We have something for everyone every day. Check us out.
We want to thank you for joining us today. And this has been In the Library with
Marsha.
and Adrian and our special guest.
Travis.
Yay. Thank
Thank you for
Travis.
being on, Travis.
Yes, thank you.